we are actually going to skip falling because I don't think falling is that confusing. But for damage, a lot of my players got confused with this. So your rank is your damage multiplier. You can get a higher damage multiplier based off of powers like Mighty, right? Her power is Mighty, adds +4 for close attacks, which gives her damage multiplier of 8. So there you go. So when you roll or when you deal damage, you'll roll a 1d6, or you can use the 1d6 that you get from hitting the middle dice, and then you times that by your multiplier, and then you add whatever stat you use to do damage. So in this case, if it's agility, it would be the agility stat. If it's melee, it would be a melee stat. Now let's go over the different damage types. There are 2 damage types. It's really that simple. There's physical and there's focus damage. Physical damage more represents your character getting beat down, while focus damage represents your character mentally getting beat down. That's really about it. Use physical damage. Most physical damage things will use melee/agility. Most focus damage things will be ego/logic. So if you're building a specific logic/ego character, you most likely will be doing focus damage. So once your character reaches below 1 health, they're knocked out. And while they're unconscious, they can't take any action, obviously. And their TN for agility attacks are only 10, but close attacks automatically hit. If they were to reach a negative value equal to their magnitude of their maximum health or worse, they are killed. So technically, if you go -30, if you have 30 health and you go -30, you are dead. So that's how death works in this game. It does not work when you go drop down to 1 HP. It just works when you're at a negative. Unless you intentionally kill, which we're going to go over that later. If a character focus is reduced to 0, they're demoralized in any conditions or powers they were concentrating on and immediately. While demoralized, they have trouble in all the actions. If their focus reduced negative value, magnitude, they are shattered, frozen in place by fear, or stressed. You know, they're just tired. But you don't die. So it's better to lose focus than it is to lose health, I'm just saying. Damage multipliers do not stack. So sometimes weapons will give you a +1 damage multiplier. It won't actually add to your actual multiplier. You will always use the higher of the two. So if you're rank 4 and the gun has a damage multiplier 1, you're going to use the rank 4 multiplier and not the damage multiplier that comes from the weapon. That's just how it is. We're going to move on to fantastic damage. Fantastic damage it just multiplies it by 2. The total damage by 2. Many powers gives a fantastic success an additional effect. In addition, if the character has mighty power, they can deal knockback to the target. And knockback, last time I remember, you may have to correct me on this, you can trade in damage to spaces on 10. So if you do 10 damage, that's 1 space for knockback. Now we're moving on to damage reduction. How this works is powers like Sturdy 1, Sturdy 2, Sturdy 3 gives a damage reduction of like 3, 2, 4, right? What damage reduction actually does, it takes that multiplier that you have and it reduces it. Not your multiplier, but the person attacking you. So if they have a 5 and you have Sturdy 2, let's say in this case, they will have a 3 on the multiplier. That's really good. If you reduce their damage to less than 1, then they do no damage at all. Not even the attacker ability score bonus. The damage multipliers reductions do not stack. That means they do not add together in no situation. The largest one will always take effect. Knockback, the thing I was just talking about it. So in a fantastic success, you have the option of dealing knockback. How it works is if a character is attacking with an additional power, they must choose between the power standard special effects beyond double damage and apply knockback. So how it works is for every damage multiplier the character has for the attack, the victim is knocked back directly 5 spaces. So, not as I described it earlier, but now you guys know. You do not take any extra damage if you knock into stuff that is already factored in the fantastical success damage. So, that's how the game kind of rules that. So, you get no extra damage if you knock someone into a wall. That's technically already added in. So how holding back works is that if you have the heroic tag, you just reduces the target to 1 point away from being mentally shattered or 1 hit point away from being dead, right? Because you don't want to kill. So it's a heroic tag specific thing. They auto do it. You can say when you're holding back, but people with heroic tag just kind of auto do it. So you don't really got to worry about that. But that's combat part 4. I think we're on part 5, going over how the combat works in this game.